what's good, y'all? How y'all doing? How y'all doing it, man? We back, bro. And today, I'm going over that wild card weekend, man. I told you I got the playoffs for you. I was going to do predictions, but I figured I'd just talk about it before, after the games and all that, you know what I'm saying? And I was going to make the video on Sunday after the games was done, but I was like, or I was going to make it yesterday, Monday morning, but I was like, I might as well wait till this Monday night game, which is stupid. I don't get why it's a Monday night game in the playoffs, but all right, it is what it is. But I was going to wait, you know what I'm saying, and I'm here Tuesday, you know what I'm saying? Even though I didn't even get to watch the game last night because I was at work, you know what I'm saying? But we just going to hop right into it, man. We're going right into it. First game we seen in the playoffs was 49ers versus Seahawks. Now, coming into this matchup, I'm like, Seahawks played 49ers 2 times already. I mean, it's hard to beat a team 3 times, but I think the 49ers can do it. But I will not be surprised if the Seahawks come out and Geno Smith have a great game, which I didn't think he had a bad game. You know what I'm saying? DK didn't have a bad game. He had a touchdown and all that. But the 49ers is just crazy. And I don't care what Bo is talking about Jimmy G, Trey Lance, none of that. That's Brock Purdy's team, bro. That's Brock Purdy's team. The way he be out there throwing the ball and all that, the way, like, he just, that man is comfortable back there. He fits into that offense. I've never liked Jimmy G. I don't like Jimmy G as a quarterback. And Trey Lance, we just don't know. He's a question mark. He's a question mark. Didn't he get hurt like week 2, I think? He's a question mark. 49ers beat the Seahawks, man. And they were the first team to advance. I don't got too much to say about this game. I don't have too much to say about this game. But one thing I do have to say is that offense is crazy. CMC, George Kittle, Debo, Brandon Ayuk, Brock Purdy. It's insane. I don't know. I don't know how they're going to be stopped. But another thing is, every team that won in the playoffs scored over 30 points. They scored over 30 points. And damn, almost every team that played was up there in the 20s. I think the Seahawks ended with 24 points. You know what I'm saying? Well, the only team that didn't score 30 that won was the Bengals. But it's been proven that, these teams, you have to be an offensive type of team. You have to be an offensive type of team in these playoffs. Because we've seen a lot of great games. We've seen a lot of great games. And this one was a great game in itself. It was a great game in itself, but it wasn't better than, honestly, any of the other games we really seen, really, in my opinion. But the 49ers, they advanced to that final 8, you know what I'm saying? And the next matchup we had seen, it was only 2 games on Saturday, which I was very disappointed by. Why not just put 3 and 3? But the next game we had seen was the Los Angeles Chargers versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, me coming into this week, I'm already like, bro, I got the Jags all the way. They got momentum. They on fire. Jags go down 27-0. They go down 27-0. They get in the box before halftime. Evan Ingram, he get in 27-7. Why did the Chargers stop running the ball? You go up 27-0, well, 27-7 at the half. Why do you stop running the ball? I believe they only ran the ball 9 times with a 22-point lead. I think they only ran the ball 9 times. 9 times. Because there was a point where they went up 30-7. Something like that. I don't know. But they had a crazy lead. And they just stopped running the ball. Why do you stop running the ball? This is the same thing that happened with the Falcons in the Super Bowl. Yeah, let's stop running the ball so we lose. That don't make sense. That don't make sense. Why not try to waste as much clock so you can get the win? In my opinion, I think Brandon Staley should be fired, bro. I never looked at Brandon Staley as that coach for the Chargers, a coach that can coach Herb and Keenan and Mike Williams. And speaking of that, he put them out there, and that last week, Mike Williams ended up getting hurt, and Joey Bosa was banged up. Like, what? Why do you do that? Why do you do that? You know what I'm saying? Like, it just didn't make sense. It just didn't make sense. You didn't have a fully healthy team because you made a stupid decision. You know what I'm saying? And, yeah. But you blowing a 27-0 lead is crazy. In the playoffs is wild. Even though I know the Jags like to rally and come back. The Jags are a great team, in my opinion. We've seen guys like Christian Kirk get a touchdown, Evan Ingram, Zay Jones, Marvin Jones. Everybody just going crazy. And they went on the last-second field goal. You know what I'm saying? And Doug Peterson, great coaching. Great coaching. To me, my 2 NFL Coach of the Year candidates are between Doug Peterson and Brian Dable, which we'll get to. But the Jags beat the Chargers, man. They come all the way back, and they win by 1 point. Because the Chargers just play stupid. Stupid clock management, stupid. It's just a lot of stupid stuff, man. There's a lot of stuff that didn't have to happen and shouldn't have happened. You know what I'm saying? But Jaguars win, and next week they will be facing that first seed Chiefs team. You know what I'm saying? They're going to Arrowhead, and this is where I think the Jaguars' little tiny Cinderella run will be ended by Patrick Mahomes and them boys, because I don't think they playing this year. I don't think they playing this year. You know what I'm saying? But moving on to the Sunday games, the first one we seen was Miami versus Buffalo. And everybody expected to come into this game, Skylar Thompson starting. Everybody expected, you know, it's going to be an onslaught in Buffalo. It's going to be an absolute onslaught. That wasn't the case. These two teams fought tooth and nail back and forth the whole game. This was actually one of the better games of the Wild Card Weekend. It was actually one of the better games. You know what I'm saying? And nobody expected that. Nobody expected that. We seen a hard-hitting divisional battle. Miami fought tooth and nail, but they fell just short. Skylar Thompson played a great game. At the beginning of the game, Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill was dropping everything. He was throwing great balls. They were dropping everything. You know what I'm saying? Eventually, the Bills go up 17-0, so now everybody's bored. Everybody's bored, like, oh, yeah, it's over. It's over. They come down. They get 3. You know what I'm saying? Then Josh Allen. Josh Allen had a terrible second quarter. I believe he threw 2 picks in the second quarter, if I'm not mistaken. That let them get 2 field goals. So just like that, it's 17-9. And then he fumbled. And I believe it got returned. I think. Did it get returned? I'm pretty sure it got returned. And then they went for 2, and Tyreek Hill got it. Just like that, it's tie game. Tie game. The Bills did score a touchdown before the half. You know, I was thinking they was going to go into the half tie game, but the Bills, they got down the field quick, scored a touchdown. They go into that 24-17. They come back out, you know what I'm saying, and the Dolphins are still hitting hard. Skylar Thompson is still throwing the ball on point. Next thing you know, the Dolphins have the lead. They have a lead, and stuff just kind of breaks down. That Buffalo defense started turning up. Buffalo defense kind of started turning up. And Josh Allen and that offense kept doing what they were doing. You know what I'm saying? And overall, the Dolphins just couldn't keep up. You know what I'm saying? They tried. They fought their hardest, but the Dolphins, they just couldn't keep up. They couldn't keep up with that Buffalo defense or offense, and it just got bad. You know what I'm saying? Well, it didn't get bad because it was still a close game, but it just wasn't enough for the Dolphins to keep up with the Bills. But this was definitely one of the better games. That, like, out of them Sunday games, this was probably the best game. Out of all them Sundays games, the Bills and Dolphins were probably the best game. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion. And nobody expected that. Skylar Thompson, they out there with a 7th-round quarterback. You know what I'm saying? I believe if they have 2 of this game goes a little different. I don't think they win still, but, you know what I'm saying, this game is just as much exciting. You know what I'm saying? And, yeah, the Dolphins, they got a bright future. You know what I'm saying? Like, they got Jalen Waddle. They still got Tyreek Hill. He getting a little up there in age, but he ain't slowing down. You know what I'm saying? If Tua can come back and be healthy, you know what I'm saying, then Dolphins, they got a great team. They got a great defense, you know what I'm saying? And they shot it out with the Bills, but overall, it just wasn't enough. And Josh Allen and the Bills advanced to the next round, you know what I'm saying, as expected. Moving on to that middle time slot game, the 4:50 game. They pushed it back to 4:50. Giants and Vikings. Now, this was the game that I was most excited for. Because, you know what I'm saying, Brian Daboll has fought all this way. He came into the Giants and turned this whole team around. They've been dealing with coaches like Joe Judge. They've been dealing with coaches like, I don't even remember, Ben McAdoo with the mustache and shit. Like, they've just been corny. The Giants been corny, you know what I'm saying? And they've always had so much potential. They've always had a great defense, you know what I'm saying? They never really had receivers, but they always had Saquon back there, you know what I'm saying? Daniel Jones was always a big question mark until this year. Daniel Jones really stepped out this year in the regular season and in that playoff game. And Daniel Jones is really coming into his own. Like, I think Daniel Jones earned his contract. Remember, this was a prove-it year for Daniel Jones. And he proved it. Daniel Jones is a solid quarterback. You know what I'm saying? And he's great on his feet. He got to be a top 5 rushing quarterback in the league. Has to be a top 5 rushing quarterback. The way he uses his feet is crazy. Saquon Barkley, we already know. His first playoff appearance. This is his first playoff appearance. He had 2 touchdowns. You know what I'm saying? And the Giants looked great. I will say, the refs tried to hold the Giants at the end of the game with that roughing the passer call. That was not roughing the passer at all. The refs tried to keep the Vikings in that game, but at the end of the day, Giants go to Minnesota and knock off the frauds. I already knew the Vikings were frauds. The Vikings and Cowboys are frauds. They always going to be frauds. You know what I'm saying? But the Giants go there and knock them off, and Brian Daboll with another great coach game. Saquon Barkley with another great running back game. Daniel Jones with another great quarterback game. And the Giants, they go on to face the first seed, their NFC East divisional rival, the Philadelphia Eagles. So that's going to be a great game next week. That's going to be a hard-hitting. To me, that's going to be a great game. And it's going to be closer than what a lot of people think it is. The Giants ain't a bad team at all. Those guys out there like Isaiah Hodgins and Richie James and them, Saquon, like Daniel Bellinger. Can't forget about Belly. You know what I'm saying? That Giants defense with Xavier McKinney, Julian Love, Kayvon Thibodeau. Like, those guys, they ain't playing, bro. They ain't playing, and they ready to hoop for real. So I think that game next week is going to be closer than what everybody expected to be. That's going to be a hard-hitting matchup. I don't expect the Giants to walk into Philly and get blown out. You know what I'm saying? I don't think we might see a blowout in these playoffs, really, because all these teams is competing. All these teams competing, and all these teams are, for the most part, surrounded by great coaching. You know what I'm saying? So the Giants, they beat the Vikings. As for the Vikings, I don't know what the Vikings do. Are they going to move on from Kirk Cousins? Are they going to move on from their coach, Kevin O'Connell, I believe that's who he is? Are they going to move on from, like, what's going on, man? I don't know what the Vikings are going to do, but to have a year like that and then go out like that is crazy. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what the Vikings are going to do, but they better figure it out. Because it could all end quick. You know what I'm saying? Moving on to that last game, the Ravens, Bengals. You know what I'm saying? Coming into this game, I'm like, I know the Bengals going to win. Tyler Huntley has to play absolutely amazing, which he didn't play bad. Tyler Huntley didn't play bad at all. You know, if Lamar plays this game, I truly think Baltimore wins. You know what I'm saying? They were in there the whole time. And this game was all about one play. The Ravens are at the 1 yard line. They tried to do a QB sneak with Tyler Huntley. He tried to jump over the line. The ball's like this. It gets punched out. Sam Hubbard returns it 98 yards. 98 yards to make the game 24-17, and that was the final score. And that happened in, like, third quarter. I believe the rest of the game was scoreless, but I feel like that knocked all the momentum out of Baltimore. That knocked every last bit of momentum out of Baltimore. Because starting out the game, like, Baltimore's going to have a rough time. Joe Burrow's completing passes everywhere. You know what I'm saying? It look like they not guarding nobody. They can't stop nobody. And then Baltimore fight back. You know what I'm saying? J.K. Dobbins ends up getting a touchdown. Baltimore's fighting back. It's a hard-hitting defensive game. It's getting chippy. AFC North football. Y'all know how that go. You know what I'm saying? But the game was determined on that one play. And those Ravens guys are frustrated. You could visibly see Mark Andrews frustrated. J.K. Dobbins came on the internet. He's frustrated. He even said, if we had Lamar, we win this game. Why am I not getting the ball at the 1 yard line? He believed that he could run that in, and I believe it too. Y'all didn't have to go for that QB sneak, and that ultimately ruined the Baltimore Ravens off one play. And the Ravens lost 24-17, and those Ravens-Bengals matchups are going to be matchups to watch, must-watch TV for years to come. We don't see a lot of rivalries in today's league, but that AFC North, they're going to always keep up with the rivalry. Steelers-Browns is a rivalry. Steelers-Ravens is a rivalry, but that's a rivalry I respect. Ravens-Bengals is coming back to be a rivalry. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's gonna be a lot of great years to come. But Ravens lose, man. Ravens lose, and Bengals move on to play Buffalo. And yeah, you know, I feel like if the Ravens have to bring back Lamar, and they gotta go get Lamar some help. Because if not, it's gonna be this every year. John Harbaugh ain't won a playoff game in like 8 years. I think he won one playoff game in the last 8 years. I don't know, but it's bad. It's definitely bad. They need to figure something out and fire Greg Roman for sure. And yeah, because it's bad. But the Bengals win, and they're going to Buffalo next week. Will they make it out Buffalo? We gonna see. You know what I'm saying? And for the final game of the week, Buccaneers versus Cowboys. Like I said, I didn't watch this game because I was at work. I did watch the highlights though, and it just looked like the Buccaneers offense is terrible. It's like the Buccaneers offense is terrible, and it's been like that all year. They did fire Byron Leftwich today, the offensive coordinator. And, yeah, like, watching those highlights, it just looked bad. Dak Prescott had a game. Dak Prescott had a rushing touchdown, threw a touchdown to CD, threw a touchdown to Michael Gallup, had 2 touchdowns to Dalton Schultz. You know what I'm saying? So, the Cowboys just had a game. The defense showed up, and Tom Brady and the Bucs were stagnant, per usual. You know what I'm saying? They were stagnant, and it looked bad. They didn't get one of those touchdowns till late in the game when Cameron Brate scored. And, It just looked bad, and there's a lot of question marks. Does Tom Brady retire? What happens now? Does Tom Brady retire? You know what I'm saying? Does Tom Brady go to Las Vegas? Does Tom Brady go to San Fran, which I don't think he should? Maybe Vegas, yeah. Put him over there with Devontae Adams. Put him over there with Darren Waller, Hunter Renfrow. If they can bring Josh Jacobs back, that's a squad. That's a squad. That's a way better upgrade than Derek Carr. Derek Carr already said his goodbyes to Oakland. And it's crazy because that's right after a year Devontae come over. You know what I'm saying? But you ask Devontae Adams who he'd rather have privately, he's going to say Tom Brady over Derek Carr. Who don't want to play with Tom Brady? You know what I'm saying? But that was pretty much the wild card weekend. You know what I'm saying? I tried to sum it up as fast as I can. I didn't want this video to be like an hour and going over every play and play-by-play and all that, blah, blah. I think I got a pretty good memory, so I remember everything that I can. But we are now down to the final 8. We got the final 8, man. We got the final 8, and these matchups is looking real good. These matchups looking real good. We got Kansas City, and we got Jacksonville. Jacksonville traveling to Kansas City, Arrowhead. We're going to see how that go. I think Kansas City is going to tear them out the frame. I ain't going to lie. I think they're going to tear them out the frame. We got a rematch of the cancellation game because, you know, what happened to DeMar Hamlin. We got the Bengals going to Buffalo. They're going to Buffalo. And if you ask me, actually, I don't know about that. I was going to say reset the score on how it was. Put the Bengals up 7-3. I still think Buffalo going to tear them up. I don't think the Bengals going to go in there and have a good game. You know, I think it's going to be a good game, but I don't think the Bengals, it's going to be sloppy for the Bengals, and the Bills are going to be hitting on all cylinders. You know what I'm saying? And they're going to go to the AFC Championship. As for the NFC side, we got the Giants and we got the Eagles. NFC East divisional bout. That should be good. I think that's going to be a great matchup in Philly. A lot of people would think the Giants are going to get blown off. I don't think it's going to be that simple. And the last matchup, we got San Francisco versus Cowboys, and I think that's going to be a shootout. That's going to be a crazy shootout. Cowboys versus 49ers, that's going to be a shootout, but I do think the 49ers are going to come out on top. You know what I'm saying? The Cowboys, they always fold. Congrats, you got your win over the Bucks. They're probably the worst team in the playoffs. Honestly, the Bucks were probably the worst team in the playoffs. You got your win over them, and from here, we'll see if the Cowboys is frauds or not. So, but yeah, that was the Super Wildcard Weekend. You know what I'm saying? And we moving on to the divisional round. I'm excited about it. And yeah, I'll be back here after the divisional round. You know what I'm saying? If any news break, I will be back there because y'all know I report everything. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to all the new subscribers. I love y'all. Make sure y'all like, share, subscribe. You know what I'm saying? Show this video some love. It's kind of a long video. I didn't think I recorded a 20-minute video in a minute. Well, we got 18, but it's a long video. But I love y'all. Make sure I like, share, subscribe. You know what I'm saying? I made a Twitter. Follow me on Twitter. Follow me on TikTok. TikTok be blowing up. Follow me on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? Everybody show love. Like, share, subscribe. Let's grow the channel. We still on that road to 1K. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, please stay safe out here, too. I love y'all. Let me know how y'all feel about the Super Wildcard Weekend. And I'm out, bro. Hey!